All right, peace, everybody. We are live. I am Ber-Henda Williams, founder of Culture Shifters Unite, and I'm super excited to sit here and give you a taste of what's to come for this Saturday. So this Saturday, Culture Shift Unites presents UnNetworking, and our focus this season or for this iteration is so you want to publish a book. And I'm joined here. Of course, everyone on the panel is absolutely awesome, but dear friend, mutual friend of ours, as I was thinking about putting this panel together, and I was like, okay, Angela knows everybody. And if you all don't know who Angela Bucciolato is, everybody knows Angela. So she's the founder of Resume Rescue and That's Business Podcast, and super supporter of me and just anyone she loves, she is a supporter of. And she was like, I got you, girl. And like fired off like these text messages. And seriously, everyone that she's recommended is absolutely phenomenal. And Meghan is one of them. So Meghan is a spiritually minded author whose work blends behavioral neuroscience, storytelling, and reflection, exploring both healing and self-awareness. And of course, all of the deeper layers of the human experience. And with her debut book, 3 Decades and 30 Days, the relationship between science, spirituality, and the writing journey, and what you can expect from the experience with her, and I can guarantee the experience just in the whole space, is one of authenticity. We aren't the polished people, we're the authentic people. We're the supportive people, we're the real people. And I really hope that when you come, you walk away with not only just a deeper insight on the publishing process, but a deeper connection to your own lived experience and a deeper connection with others around you. And this publishing journey, and I'm sure Meghan will share with you, it pulls a lot out of you. You will not, you will understand what you are made of as you go through, I'm sure, every iteration of self doubt and setbacks and deadlines. And of course, we got to talk about the money, like all of it, I think stretches our soul. So without further ado, I want to welcome you, Meghan Johnson. Thank you for
Oh,
being
thank you for having me. This is so nice. Yeah, Angela does know about everybody, I swear. I went to the Tigers game with her the other day. I think she said hi to like 5 people. And one of them lived, I swear to God, in like California or something. It's like she just attracts people. She's an attractor and like a manifester, but she's amazing. So yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I'm so excited for Saturday. I'm excited to hear about the other panelists too and what they say as well, because like you were saying, the journey of becoming an author and publishing a book, it has been a journey for sure. And I just think that we can all learn a little something about each and every one of our journeys. I know I can, like, for example, I self-published, but I would love to know about traditional publishing too. So yeah, I'm very excited for Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. And so Lisa Tucker Sullivan, again, Angela, but also went the traditional publishing route. Linda Wee she and her husband have their own publishing company. I believe Lori Joe Best did go the independent route. She did self-publish as well. And Vicki Wool's like 11 times like best-selling author, so has some really great insights. But I really want to focus on you and your journey of becoming this an author and essentially truncating like 3 decades into 30 days. So what was the motivation behind that? Obviously something is sparked on the inside of you that says, I can take this journey, this arduous journey of 30 years, and I can collapse it into 30 days. So tell us, please, what inspires you to do that, and maybe some of the process that you put yourself in to live out 30 decades in 30 days.
Okay, yeah, the second question is a big one. But yeah, I guess the start of it was I have been currently writing a fiction book, and I started writing that in 2023. And it just was kind of like those slow side projects. It's a book that, you know, would I really think it's a special book, and I wanted to take my time on it. And then it kind of got to a point when I was halfway through writing the first draft where I was like, I actually don't know much about publishing a book and what it takes to publish a book, the business side of publishing a book. And so I thought, well, I could just write a very short book and kind of just write it as a guinea pig, so to speak, to figure out how the business of publishing actually works. So I actually think that God put the idea in my mind. I remember I was walking around my family room and I just kind of thought about it. Yep. It's that little voice, and it was just one of those feelings where I'm like, oh, like that's it. Like I during when I was writing it, I was kind of going through like a pretty big transition in my personal life. So I just feel like emotions were already pretty like heightened, and I was just already like thinking a lot and writing a lot and journaling a lot. And it was one of those like personal transformations where I was just thinking back to my life and thinking about all of the really like the experiences that I've had and what I've learned in just, 30 years. So that's where the idea kind of came from, is both like the practical side of it, of just writing like a short book to try to like get my feet wet into publishing, but also having that like tangible thing to show me that, like, hey, the experiences that I have gone through in life actually have taught me something, and they were actually valuable, and they weren't for nothing. So yeah, that's kind of the idea behind it. And then I wrote, the first draft of each of the 30 days in about 2 days, and then editing. So keep going back and going back to the actual first draft took about like a month or a month and a half. Um, and then the other, like getting your book cover design, I self-published. So trying to understand how to self-publish through like Amazon and Ingram Sparks. The whole process took me about 2 months from actually getting those first words on paper to actually submitting it through Amazon and publishing. So I kind of took that and said, okay, if like this short book took me that amount of time, how long is it going to take for me to publish like a book 3, 4, 5 times those chapters? And so that's when I was like, oh, I've got like a lot of work to do if I want to get this other book published. But it's been a really good experience so far. I've gone to like book fairs, sold my book, and that's been also a great experience just for like kind of like getting out there in life and talking to people. And I think the content of the book, um, what I personally like about it and talking to other people, is they start sharing their own life experiences and um, their life lessons with me too. And so that's been very rewarding for me, for them to kind of have um, that book to be able to open up to other people about their own life experiences too. Um, so yeah, now I'm here. I'm still writing the first book originally, but I have a couple other projects that I've been working on, and I guess I'll share more of that on Saturday.
I'm really excited about hearing your process. And I think for many of us who are creative, whether we call it God, source, universe, divine architect, I mean, all of the names that we put on the power greater than us, I love that common theme that something bigger than ourselves enters in and kind of gives us a guidance on what
Yeah.
to do and how to say it. And so that leads me to my next question, because you marry both science and soul. And so your background in behavioral neuroscience has how has that shaped the way in which you understand healing, but also how you understand the creative process?
Yeah. Yeah. So with the healing part of it, it's helped me because, like, you can, if you're going through something, I do believe that you have to have faith. Well, you don't have to, but for me personally, it's just help having that faith of something bigger than you, and understanding that, you're not really in control of everything that's going on in your life. Like, things are going to happen to you that you can't control. You might have questions in life that you're like, why is this happening? But you just have to have the faith that, like, that someone or something, like, is looking out for you, and what you're going through is for your own personal benefit. However, we are like machines. We do have a biology, we do have physiology. We don't have to take a total back seat into, like, where our life is going to go, or how we're going to feel, or how we're going to heal. um, you do have to take those necessary steps in order to make your life a little bit better. So, like, with healing, for example, you can't just sit back and say, you know what, it is what it is, what's going on right now. I know that it's going to get better, or whatever is going to happen. I have full trust in this divine source, I guess. But also, like, I have to be smart about it, and I can take the necessary steps to heal myself as well. Like, develop a routine every day, like, develop a structured day. If you want to do something, um, research it, do it. You are a vessel, basically, in my opinion, for that divine person or thing, or whatever you want to call it. And they're going to be using you to do things, and so you do have to, like, act in your life as well. And I think understanding more of your biology and physiology, your behavior, and just understanding how your mind works, it just helps the vessel, it just helps the divine a little bit more, um, kind of get through to you, if that makes sense.
It makes all to me, it makes all the sense in the world. And I really do believe for a lot of people that are coming on Saturday. And of course, we do not discriminate at Culture Shifters Unite. You don't have to believe in anything, but we do ask that you believe in love. Like, that's baseline. Please,
Yeah.
yeah, believe in love, believe in community, believe in connection, believe in integrity. We definitely ask that. But when we add the faith layer to it, as you so adequately described, it makes it feel more like a dance versus being so alone. And it can feel absolutely like that. And you have this approach that I think many times modern day is beginning to catch up with it. But how do you blend what seemingly is polar opposites, science and faith? How have you been able to marry both soul and science?
Yeah, that's a hard one, and that's, like, something that I'm, like, currently, I guess, noodling around in my brain. But I personally view, uh I guess, science, or, like, the natural world, like a part of God and the divine. And so, to me, they're already blended. That's just how I view it. I mean, like, even just, like, learning about the human body, it is just so complex. It's so fascinating. It's such, like, a well-oiled machine. It's like, how could this not be God? And I want to go back to what you said about, you don't really have to, have a belief in anything, but you do need to believe in, like, love and integrity. And, like, that's all just, like, energy. And I feel like that is, like, a science as well. And so, I don't know, I feel like when it's already a blend, like, anything that you look at, like, that is, like, a divine thing, like, working already. um and I think where it comes from is that, just, it's like, that is, like, taking it from the human body, for example. I'm like, what a smart, machine like we have. What a smart, I'm like, that is just so intelligent. So like what could, like, how could that even like come about? Like how could like humans even be like walking around right now after millions and millions of years of whatever was back then? It's just kind of like a miracle. We're even here and like functioning right now and are able to like breathe without actually thinking about it and be able to, you know, eat and have it just be like automatically digested in us. I just think it's just like a beautiful thing. And I personally, I can't help but think of like God when I think of science.
Woo. I'm really moved right now because I feel on a personal level, this is why I enjoy metaphysics, because I do believe it naturally blends science and spirituality, but you know, one's faith makes it its own. But you're right, there's an awe and reverence when you watch nature at play, when we think about, you know, who created this mechanism that said a heart is what will sustain your entire organism. And then the currency of blood and bone and all of it. And essentially, if it has the right conditions, the body flourishes.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I'm going to create the right conditions for you. Now, we get in the way, I believe, sometimes, but I'm going to create the right conditions for you: water, air, trees, food, sustenance. I will create right conditions for you to flourish.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's the, and even in like the wrong conditions, I feel like our body is still trying to be like flourishing too. You know what I mean?
I
And
do. I
that's
do.
that, like even right now, I mean, I stepped outside and I'm like coughing up a lung because you know the conditions aren't right.
Advisory, yeah, the advisory we have going right now.
Isn't
So
that crazy?
yes,
Yeah,
those of you who are not in the Metro Detroit area or Canada, just so you all know, we're under an extreme air quality advisory because of wildfires in Canada. And because of our proximity to Canada, Detroit has a couple of ways to get to Canada, but what Windsor is literally across the Detroit River. And that fire, the debris, the smoke has blown over to our side of the river, and we have an advisory. So much so, not just Detroit, but Southfield, Pontiac. Like, I was looking at my app, and it's showing all the surrounding cities of how far,
yeah.
yeah, the smoke has traveled.
I read an article that some like Swiss company who does like global air quality review said that Detroit has the worst air quality in the world right now. So,
Yeah.
but anyways,
Going back.
back to the worst conditions, but your body is still able for. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just the other thing I wanted to say about like I guess looking at nature and looking at God is just some like a something that's helped me, kind of like a philosophy that I've adopted is like, and kind of going back to what you were saying where you know your body is just basically functioning to optimize you. You know, if you look at like trees, if you look at like mountains, if you look at the nature, I don't really see it like trying. You know what I mean? Like the like nature like picks the environment that it's gonna work the best in. And I think that a lot of like the writings that I do, or especially in 3 decades and in 30 days, it kind of points to like you need to be in a good environment, but also like you just have to like flow with life. You can't control it like wait like too much. It just like is not, it's not going to work. And so I feel like, and I deal with this too even today. If you're trying to do something and trying to do something, trying to do something, you keep hitting a wall and hitting a wall, hitting a wall, like maybe that's just kind of like the universe saying like this isn't like your environment, like you're just not aligned with this type of work. And so I think that looking at nature and the mechanisms that nature has and applying it to your own life, I guess, like from a behavior standpoint. I don't know. I feel like it has helped me kind of simplify what I do a little bit better.
Megan, I mean, of course, when you enter into these conversations, and of course, meet people in person that you never met, you never know where the conversation is going to go. But I will say that our conversation today has been such a blessing and has reinforced, I hope for those of you who are listening, reinforced again your own listening, your own awareness of God, source, spirit. I mean, think anyone, most people on my timeline are people of faith, different traditions, but what you're naming, and especially when we're hitting a wall. And I think right now we are definitely in wall times. We are watching consistently a regime
Yep.
daily chips away and dismantles our humanity and our rights and things that govern us to create right conditions, especially for those who are closest to the I'm sorry, furthest away from the margins of power. Yet as I hear you talk about God and nature, but also the slight indicators that maybe there's a different path for you to take,
Mhm.
right? Maybe there's an awareness that there's another way for you to go. And I think when we are in times like this where we feel so impacted and condensed, I think that's where creativity and innovation get to spring up too, even
Yeah.
in the adversity. So when we talk about adversity and the process of writing and hitting a wall, in your process, Megan, what surprised you the most about yourself?
Interesting. That's an interesting question. Honestly, what surprised me what surprised me the most is that I actually loved doing the work. Um, that I was motivated to get up every morning or not really go to bed too early every night to get the work done. I know a lot of people say, you get in that like flow state when you're doing something that you love, and that's really what happened to me. And I think that after years and years and years of like having jobs, like working in a corporate environment where you have to work, and like being at school where you have to do the homework, where you're just kind of like expected to have work ethic. um Before like writing the book, I always thought like maybe, not that I'm like, I wouldn't call it like lazy, but I just never had that like oomph, to like do the work. But then when I started writing the book, it just came so like naturally. It was just like, oh, like I like if you do something that you're interested in, or you do something that you can actually see, or like have a vision or a reason or a purpose for doing it, it's like the work ethic is just, it's just going to go a lot smoother, honestly. Like the motivation is going to come. And so that's what surprised me the most. I'm like, before that I'm like, is my serotonin levels like low? Do I have like depression? But it's not, it wasn't that. It's just that, like, going back to the nature thing, I just don't think I was in the environment to where that like natural motivation came came out. And so I don't know, that made me feel a little bit better. Just like knowing the cliche of like, it's not work if you love doing it. So
Mm, mm. I think that I hope that it inspires people to not just do the pinning part of it. I mean, that is part of it. But I love what you said about process. And I think in our society, process is not the place that we always like to be in, right?
right.
Especially when we look at highlights and reels, like social media shows us like the end, but very rarely, or if we see the middle, it's set up.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And
And
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because I it can be overwhelming, when you are in these, like, I've never started a business, but I'm sure you know that you like you do have moments where you're like, is this even worth it? Like my work, is it like it's not really giving like that immediate gratification or that immediate reward? And I think, I think that's where like success is, though, is like just literally just enjoying like what you're doing and knowing that your work has like an impact. Like it will have an impact, even if it's just going to impact like you, one person, two people, 10,000 people. Like you have to trust yourself that what you're doing isn't like you're not out like killing people. You know what I mean? Like you like just trust that you being genuine to yourself and authentic to yourself and loving what you do to bring it back to the divine, like that's what he, she, whatever, like wants. And that's what like the energy of love wants too. It wants you to love what you do, and therefore I feel like it's just going to work out. I don't know, maybe that's me being naive, but that's a belief.
Meghan Johnson, honest to goodness, I did not know that you would be preaching to me today. Oh my goodness. It's affirming, it's centering, and I really hope, again, whether you're listening to this live now or you catch this on the replay, that sometimes we have to hear a message a few times in a few different places and sometimes unlikely places to remember. And honestly, I mean, you are driving all up and down my street, because one of the words that I've been working with for the last, I would say, 3 weeks is remembrance. Because life has a way of interrupting, and you forget your connection. You forget your why. Like, we have
Yeah.
these beautiful mission statements and vision statements that we put on our websites, and we create this wonderful logo, or and we have the book cover. We finally get to that part, right, of the book cover. But then there's that whole other side of the journey of now then marketing it and putting yourself out there. So
Mhm.
if you can talk to us a bit about that too, as we begin to close, Meghan, what is it like to been to book fairs and signings, and now you have to talk about the book? So what has your journey been on the marketing side of said?
Oh, the marketing side, that is something that I need to like get my shit together on. It's been the difficult side of the book business, in my opinion. Um, so I before the book, I didn't have any social media. So I really did start from ground zero when it came to like Instagram, uh, TikTok, Facebook. And I have personally found that I have had the most success with book fairs. They're a little daunting, but you can almost like see who your audience is a little bit better through like in-person sales. So for example, like this is something that I feel like I'll do with my next book, is really try to like pin down who my audience of the book will be, versus when I wrote 3 Decades in 30 Days, I was not thinking about audience at all. And so when I started to, market, one of the main questions was like, well, who's your audience? And I'm like, I don't know, like anyone who can read or like wants to read. And so that's really hard if you don't know your audience, to try to like pin down where to go or what to say. But through book fairs, I kind of found out that my audience is middle-aged women, and so I'm like, oh, okay, that would make sense. And so yeah, I'm still doing the marketing thing. I tried TikToks. I like that didn't really pan out too much, but I feel like with TikTok algorithms, you have to like keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. Um, I
TikTok
was
feed me Seymour. Like, I
Yeah,
look at TikTok seriously as you gotta,
yeah,
yeah, you really have to like keep feeding it. And it does do well for videos. I noticed, I don't know if you want to read excerpts from your book, but that again, that takes It takes so much. And like you said, if your audience is, I'm hearing you speak, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm a middle-aged woman. I'm not on all the places.
Yeah, yeah,
I have time to be on all of the places. So you hit on something really important too that I hope people are hearing you say, that can be a great place for some people, but maybe for you, TikTok, maybe it's not TikTok.
right, right, exactly. Um, yeah, and so think like I feel like with marketing is hard, especially as like an all. I don't know. It's very interesting because even it's I don't know. This is just a thought or like a theory. A lot of people who are authors, I find like just on TikTok, they like put their faces out there and then saying like, "Here's my book," like here's me and here's my book, basically. And I'm not saying that's bad or wrong or anything, but I'm thinking about me as a reader. And I have known that when I'm reading a book, like let's say I read a book or a couple books from a specific author, and I love the books. I'm like, this is such a good book. And then I go and look up the author, and then I see a couple interviews with them, and I'm like, I don't know, like I still like the books. Now that I'm reading the books, something has changed because now I'm associating the author and like who they are, like with the books. I guess it's like depending on the type of book that you're like writing, like if it's fiction, for example, like I feel like the reader might almost want to like separate the author
Mm,
from the story. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think there's like different like market versus like if you were like Mel Robbins and like the let them theory. Like obviously you wouldn't want to separate the two. And so I don't know. I think marketing is like different for like different types of books, honestly. And I think that is like I don't know. That's just like a crazy, crazy industry that I'm currently learning right now.
love your honesty around that, and I hope that when you come, we're a little over the halfway mark, so there's still opportunities to get tickets, but we are at the halfway point, and we cap it at 30 because, well, one, we don't want to lose intimacy and connection, but
Yeah,
two, also so that we can have the space for um, truer connection and not an algorithm chase
hmm, yeah,
for both the panelists and the people that are coming. Like my hope is that it works both ways for everyone. That you feel, I mean, yes, of course, we want you can bring your books, you can sell your books, but even more than that, you're connecting with someone that's not just patronizing you. Like you're connecting with someone that will find extreme value in what you're writing, and then also then tell their friend group or tell other people, hey, I was at this amazing event. I met this author. And I know, like you said, you may or may not want to disassociate the author from the book, but I do think there is a resonance when it comes to the energetics of a person that
that's
can,
true.
you know, not even just sell, but just really connect you. And it's like, I think my first marketing course was a paragraph in Principles of Advertising. They actually opened with the Rolling Stones. And so they talk about the Rolling Stones, Chicago, for me personally, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think about Carlos Santana. These artists never have to drop. If they don't want to do new music, they never have to do new music again in their lives.
Yeah,
Because if we think about how long the Rolling Stones, their career, their discography, Santana, Chicago, Earth, Wind, and Fire, they sell out. Like as soon as you hear that they're coming to, and I think that there's a not just a fandom, but there's just a reverence. Like this becomes the soundtrack of your lives, and so your kids listen to it. Well, at this point, I guess grandkids or maybe even great grandkids listen to these bands.
yeah, legendaries.
Yeah, and I don't think they set out to be legends. Like if
Yeah,
you
right.
a couple of kids playing around in the garage,
That's so true. That's
right?
so true.
And they had no idea what they were in for, in their life. I don't think that they ever expected to be selling out stadiums, let alone now in their 70s and 80s selling out stadiums.
Yeah, yeah, that's so crazy. Yeah, those stories are so crazy, and just with I don't know, with like documentaries and just like reading like little biographies from people who have had like that like big success, especially like in the like entertainment industry, I guess. Like, I don't know, just going back to I feel like they just loved it, you know. I feel like they'd still be doing it even if they had like one fan. And it's almost like they're kind of um like people who are almost like, not, I don't want to say like selfish with their talents, but they're just so like,
Very myopic, but dedicated, to it.
yes,
I think
yeah.
that if you've ever dated a musician, you know that there's always going to be another person in your relationship, and it's going to be the art. Like that,
Yeah,
you just have to be kind of comfortable with knowing that their true love is the music.
that's so true. That is so true. The music can't hurt them. That's why they do it.
Right? And it can always give, and it never takes a break, and it's
It never gaslights you.
never, and you're never wrong with music.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You're never wrong. Yeah.
It gives you what you put in. I could go on actually with this
Yes,
analogy.
but Megan, so this is where we will have to begin our descent. I am so excited to know you. You're such a great human, and I love the way you have blended faith and science and excavated just your own knowing and becoming in this literary process. And I hope that it really encourages other people to lean into the process of it. If you've been sitting on a book, I have a friend, I need to text her now, like, hey friend, what's that children's book you wrote 10 years ago?
A little push.
A little nudge. Just can we put something on a timeline? We have an accountability group sort of, and we're a little different ambassadorships, but we call it Love and Radiance. And so in this circle, we push one another. And so we've got one of our members to name when she's going to start her podcast.
Oh no.
It's out there, right?
Accountability.
You gave us a date.
Nice.
Dates can move, but at least it's on the calendar.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's real. It's real when you write it down.
It's real when you write it down and you speak it. And I do believe that when we make it real, we put it on a calendar, we mark it, there's something beautiful that conspires for you.
That's true. That's true. And then if you don't do it, you feel that looming guilt.
Get it done. So, Megan, I can't wait to have your presence in person on Saturday. The link, Good Humans, are in the show notes, so you can just go ahead and link to get your ticket or two. Buy a ticket for a friend, someone that you know that has been sitting on this idea of publishing a book. Maybe you yourself have been sitting on this, but I think that even for yourself, do it for yourself. Yeah. Do it because to show that you can go the distance, you can commit to something, because it is a commitment.
It is.
Yeah, commitment to see it through. So excited, so glad that you said yes to this and said yes to yourself to write this book. So again, we have Meghan Johnson, 3 decades and 30 days. She's an amazing author and will be one of the geniuses sitting on our panel this coming Saturday. And until next time, good humans, don't wait. Whatever it is, don't wait. Put it on the calendar, write the vision down, make it plain. And I'm Ber-Henda Williams, founder of Culture Shifters Unite, and we'll see you all on Saturday. So Megan, see you Saturday.
Hi, thank you so much.
No, thank you.